The first Black Americans to be returned to Africa weren't slaves. They were free veterans betrayed by the British. This is the story of how thousands of enslaved people won their freedom by fighting for the British crown, and how America's new nation forced them out twice. Imagine being enslaved and seeing a chance. In 1779, Sir Henry Clinton issued the Philipsburg Proclamation, according to official British military records. The message was simple. Any enslaved person held by an American patriot who escaped to British lines would be granted freedom. Not eventually, immediately. As of that moment, you were free. Thousands took that offer. According to declassified records, it's estimated that as many as 100,000 enslaved people fled to British lines during the American Revolutionary War. They served as soldiers, scouts, engineers, and officers' staff. According to the Book of Negroes, the official registry the British kept of every evacuated black person, about 3,000 of them made it to freedom. Men like Thomas Peters, a sergeant in the Black Pioneers who was enslaved on a plantation in North Carolina before he escaped. Men like Boston King, who served on the front lines and was eventually ordained as a Methodist minister. These were soldiers. These were heroes. When the American Revolution ended in 1783, according to the Treaty of Paris, the new United States demanded the British return all American property taken during the war, including enslaved people. The Americans wanted them back. According to historical records, the British commander Sir Guy Carleton refused to abandon the people who had fought for the crown. Instead, he evacuated them. Between April and November of 1783, according to the Nova Scotia archives, approximately 3,000 Black Loyalists boarded ships and sailed to Nova Scotia, Canada. They arrived expecting the promises to be fulfilled. Land grants, provisions, freedom, equality. According to official records, they received almost nothing. The colonial government of Nova Scotia saw the arrival of 3,000 free black people and panicked. They deliberately gave Black Loyalists much smaller plots of land than white settlers, sometimes 40 acres less. The farmland they were given was mostly rocky, barren soil surrounding by swamps. According to historical documentation, they had no livestock, no guns for hunting, no lumber for housing, no credit for supplies. For nearly a decade, according to the Black Past archives, Black Loyalists in settlements like Birchtown, which had over 1,500 people, making it the largest community of free black people outside Africa at that time, struggled to survive by working as day laborers, indentured servants, and sharecroppers. They faced constant discrimination. White mobs attacked black communities. They were denied the right to vote, the right to trial by jury, the right to even buy property freely. The British had promised them freedom. What they gave them was a different kind of bondage. By 1790, Black Loyalists were desperate. So Thomas Peters, the same sergeant who had fought for British freedom, did something radical. According to official records, he gathered petitions from Black Loyalists across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Then he traveled to London. He walked into the British government and demanded they keep their word. In London, Peters met with abolitionists and the Sierra Leone Company, which, according to contemporary records, was establishing a new colony in West Africa for freed people. Peters saw it as the Promised Land. He negotiated the terms: free land, free passage, self-government, equality with white settlers. Peters returned to Nova Scotia triumphant and announced the plan. On January 15, 1792, according to official immigration records, 15 ships carrying 1,196 Black Loyalists left Halifax Harbor. About 300 had died during the journey from Nova Scotia, but those who survived arrived in Sierra Leone between February and March of that year. They founded Freetown, America's first freed black colony, established not by choice, but by betrayal and exile. According to historian documentation, they were the ones who named the settlement. They built it from nothing. They established the first schools, the first churches, the first professional class of black lawyers and doctors in West Africa. But again, the promises crumbled. The Sierra Leone Company, according to documented accounts, had broken promises about land allocation, supplies, and self-governance. The colonists were devastated, yet they persisted. Thomas Peters died just months later in June of 1792, likely worn down by disease and heartbreak. But the community he led survived. The Black Loyalists, the first free Black Americans to establish a settlement in Africa, built a nation. Their descendants became known as the Creole people, and they shaped the entire history of Sierra Leone. They proved that freedom isn't given, it's taken. And when it's taken, no betrayal, not by Britain, not by America, not by the forces that oppose you, can take it away. Comment below, did you know this story? Share this with someone who needs to understand that Black freedom came before civil rights, and it came through Black resistance, not white benevolence. Subscribe to Ikemefuna History TV, because these are the erased stories of Black revolutionary action that textbooks refuse to teach. What other forgotten chapters of Black history should we uncover next? Let's keep telling the truth.